All right, kids, it's Blackjack with 296 Guitars. We're back with the Alvarez that we just put the LR bags electronic system in it. The electronic pickup. Sorry, I had a brain fart. We're getting ready to string it and ran into a hiccup, so we're actually putting a new set of tuners in it, and then we're going to string it and set it up. So let's get to work. Now, as you can see, we're all here. We got these say Gibson on them, but they're Grover tuners, and yeah, they're really good tuners. Sorry to tell you that, yeah, they'll work in here, but we're going to have to open up the holes a little bit, and that's where we're going to start. Let me put a little piece of tape to hold our pickup. Pickup hasn't found its home there because it hasn't had pressure from the strings and the saddle and what have you. Pretty simple procedure here. I had strung it up, and one of the tuners, as you remember from the first video, was kind of wonky. Yeah, these old style tuners. So I had a spare tuner. I put it in there. I did actually string it up and make it play, and it's golden. But spoke to the customer, and we both agreed that, yeah, he needs good tuning stability and have a good set of tuners in there. These tuners are just not the best, and I know we can do better. These tuners, I mean, the one I put in there was a good one. It was a Gibson, but a different style. We're going to put this whole set of Grovers, even though it's labeled Gibson, these are Grover tuners. Yeah. Are they made for an electric guitar? Yeah, so what's your point? They'll work, and they're going to work really well. Done it a million times. Done it a million times. Rusty, old, nasty screws. I don't even know if I'm going to save these tuners as spares. They're all wonky. Every one of them. They're not a direct fit, so we're going to have to open up. Put it down here because this is where we're working. We're going to have to open up these holes probably. Because these are really small, and those are different kind of tuners. I've done this before. Trust me. Most acoustic guitars just don't have the best tuners on them, and there's no reason not to. Even high-end guitars, I haven't come through the shop and I'm like, what the hell were they thinking putting these crappy ass tuners on here? That's your tuning stability. It's what holds the string. I wonder why you have to tune your guitar every time you friggin' pick it up. That's why. There's got crappy tuners on there. Have no fear. Blackjack is here. See? Just absolute junk. Caps don't stay on. Never liked them. I never liked that style of tuning. We got a little bit of a bushing in there that needs to go away. Really small. Probably might have to drill them instead of bore them out. What a punch. Probably. Just pop out. And there she goes. No. That's all it is. We're just pushing out a little aluminum or plastic bushing. I don't know. Is it metal? Nope. Probably aluminum. Probably aluminum. get those out of the way. Where the hell did that other one go? I think it went all the way over onto the carpet. So what? I don't know 100% for certain that these tuners will work. I've got plenty of meat there. I would like them to work because I like these tuners. What is the size of that little hole right there? 0.302. Yeah, basically 5/16. Yeah. 5/16 is probably where we're going to have to go. Let's pull one of them out and see what they measure. If I'm not mistaken, that's 5/16. .392. So we have to jump from 5/16 to 25/64 or 13/32. It's not a huge jump. .392. And the closest measurement to 392 is 13/37. It's 0.4062 or 0.3906. That'll be too small. We want to go to the next size bigger. 13/32. I don't know. Are we going to drill it or are we going to bore it? I think boring it is going to be a little, it's going to take forever. I think I'm going to step up to that. 5/16 is what it is. Yeah, I think we're going to step up to it. To bore it out with a reamer is usually what I do, which is that little tool right there. But it's got to go up several sizes in small increments, and I think I'm going to just step up little by little until I get the holes where I want them. It's going to make a mess. So that is actually the size that the hole is. All of that stuff that came out was just dirt and gook and varnish and yeah. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps to get them up to the size that I want. I'm not going to do that on camera. It'll take forever. I will be back in a moment. So Yahtzee, we drilled out the holes and you make them just big enough to receive the new tuners, right? These are a little bit different kind of tuner. It's not so much a bushing that goes in there. It's actually a bolt that goes through from the other side. You've seen those. Normally, when I clean a guitar, I do not remove all of this. So the other day when I worked on this, I did not clean this, but boy, when you have the tuners out of the way, it makes it so easy to clean it really good. And you know me, I gotta clean. By the way, I filled all the old holes with bamboo toothpicks and quick bond. Just kind of tap them down in there. You get them, put a little glue in, put the toothpick, snip it off close, and then just tap it with a punch, a flat punch, to get it nice and level. And that will keep the structure of the headstock. You don't want all those little holes in there, because none of them are going to line up with the new tuners. Almost as sure as God made little green apples. Got a little something there that I want to get off. I missed it the other day. Just something sticky, a piece of tape or something is on there. Is it going to come off? Oh yeah. Man, I get so distracted sometimes. Most of it came off. Some of it's embedded into the clear coat. We'll try a different chemical on it later on. Because right now I really want to get on with this little project. So the way I do it is I get them in there, I put the bolts in, the nuts as it were, and these are directional, so you have to make sure that the screw hole goes down, right, like so. And then one by one, we put the bolts in. And then once we get them all set where we want, get them snugged up loosely, we will drill the pilot hole and put the screws in on the bottom. The washers are directional. Make sure you got the chrome side that's really shiny out. Right. And that's the way our tuner is going to look, just like that. So, easy peasy, nice and sleazy. And that's why we had to, make the holes bigger, because way back when this guitar was built, they just used plastic, aluminum, whatever bushing. These actually hold, they screw in the back so they can't pivot, and they hold tight on the top with a washer and a nut set. Can't move. Now I use Can't Leave. What movie is that from? All we're doing is snugging them. We're not tightening them all the way, because once I get them all in, I want to be able to flip it back over the guitar and move them and get them lined up straight. Then we'll drill our pilot holes and put our last little bits of screws in. This is a huge upgrade for this guitar. I'm so happy that the client said, yes, put them in. Can't have my guitar going out of tune. Common sense, right? Common sense would dictate such. So, you've seen this portion of it. I'm going to pause briefly . Remember, just snug them. I'm going to pause briefly while I do them all. So what you do is you line them up. And yeah, is there a way to do that? Yeah, if it's linear and they'll all line up, use a straight edge that way, right? And get them all lined up as straight as possible. But I'm going to tell you, through 100 years of doing this, There's a lot of eyeball involved in this. You just got to kind of get them where they belong. And we drill a pilot hole, which is a really small drill bit. And I've shown you this before. It's critical to get the right size pilot hole. Don't go too small. Don't go too big. If you go too big, guess what? The screw won't find purchase. If you go too small, you could break the screw head off in there in the hardwood. That's the one we want. So when I come back, I'll have all those screws in. We just drill a pilot hole and put the screws in. But I want to make sure that I get them all lined up, and I'm not going to bore you with that because I will commiserate over it for quite a few minutes before I decide I like it. Stand by. It's a beautiful thing. Got brand new tuners on there, and they're good ones. They're Grovers. All right. The last thing we're going to do, tighten them down over here, and yeah, you'll notice I'm not using a wrench or a ratchet. I'm just snugging them up. They don't need to be much tighter than that. Give them a good snug and that's it. Right? Now, I took the old strings off. The strings, actually, they weren't old. They were the ones that I put on when I mocked up this guitar. Because I don't like putting on and taking off and putting back on. It irritates me no end, so that's not in the plan. We're going to put new strings again. So now we donated instead of strings. Not the end of the world. It's not ideal, but it happens, right? These are D'Addarios. They're phosphor bronze. Let's get our saddle in. On top of our new pianos, we'll pick them, our LR bags, as it were. Get it where it wants to be. And go to stringing. I like it. So, of course, they're all out of position. Beauty. What an upgrade on this instrument. He's going to love this guitar when he gets it back. Can't wait to see the look on his face. Right? And you know the drill. I'm not going to bore you with this entire restring because it takes a few minutes and it's noisy. Everything looks nicely positioned there. So we will be back. Just stand by a few minutes. I love it when a nice guitar responds the way it's supposed to. Yeah, we're all strung up. The tuners feel absolutely amazing on it. Right? And just to make sure, my work from the other day, pickup system in it. Really cool. I love it. I'm just so happy with, you know, when I get stuck on a system that I love, which is the LR bags, and I don't want to like kick it to death, but when you find something that works, stay with it. As traveling musicians, and I'm one myself, or I was in a previous life and am again from time to time, you rely on your gear, and your gear has to be right, period. End of story. You don't want failure in this or this over here. And you certainly don't want failure in the instrument itself. And that directly relates to tuning stability. When you're playing an acoustic guitar, a bass guitar, an electric guitar, it doesn't matter. You tune that thing and strum a chord, and halfway through a song, it goes out of tune. That is directly related to this. And when you got garbage tuners like that, and you're working, that is a no bueno. It's a failure waiting to happen. So I am so pleased that this client decided to step up and get some decent tuners. Did we have to do a little, you know, fabrication or modification? Yeah, but that's okay. That's okay. And you trolls out there, you can go nuts and go, oh, those are for a Les Paul. Yeah. Okay, go ahead. You keep right on. I just want to check I'd already strung this up, as I said, you know, the other day when the tuner debacle, the tuning machine debacle occurred. And nothing should have changed. I'm sure that it hasn't. Let's just take a look. Yeah, we're golden. We are golden. I love it. This guitar is ready to go on the road and make music. You know, it's ready to go on the road and make music. And I'm not even kidding. So that's today's episode. It's Blackjack with 396 Guitars. Thanks so much for watching, all of you viewers, all of the people that make comments. I really appreciate that you're kind of engaged a little bit. My videos are organic. I don't edit. I don't hone in right on what I'm doing. I try to explain what's happening. I try to answer all your comments, and thank you. Remember, if you dig what I'm doing, like and subscribe, and by all means, share. We'll talk soon.